Hey everyone, this is Dave A. Gardner, and you're listening to the Heart of Juliet Jones fanfiction podcast. This is part 5 of Chasing a Dream, based on the vintage daily comic strip called The Heart of Juliet Jones, with characters and stories originally written by Elliot Kaplan and illustrated by Stan Drake in 1961. The fanfiction story you are hearing today is written by Dave A. Gardner. Welcome back to a story that has the potential to brighten your day with a mix of humor, drama, and a whole lot of heart. In our last episode, building on the momentum of desire, Eve Jones had suddenly gained the confidence to believe in her dream and to believe that it was possible that a young girl in the smallest town in the country could rise to the top in a national beauty contest. But she still needed to cross the first obstacle to her dream, persuading her conservative older sister Julie. In our studio today, we've got Julie and Eve's sweet-loving father, whom they call Pops. You don't mind if I call you Pops, do you? I certainly do. I only have 2 daughters, and they're the only ones allowed to call me that. But you can call me Howard. That's me, Howard Jones. That's what the others call me when I get to leave the house. Great. So, Howard, tell us how you took the news from Eve that she entered a Miss Teenager contest. How did that make you feel? Well, I'm always proud of my daughters. Very proud. But you've got to understand that when Eve comes into the house excited about some news or other, Julie and I get very nervous. That little spirited girl is just like her mother was. Always up to a new thing or two that could end up turning these podcasts into very long seasons, you know. But to me, this news, well, it somehow seemed different. But I'll tell you, it was Julie who needed the convincing. Let's listen in to Part 5, An Obstacle to Her Dream. Eve knew that she was going to have to do better to convince her conservative older sister Juliet to accept her decision to participate in the National Teenage Beauty Contest. But how? She had done and said all she could. Now all she could do was wait to give her sister time to mull it over. But Eve was never big on long waits. The minutes ticked by on the old grandfather clock in the living room like a woodpecker in slow motion. Every single tick felt like a year, especially when it came to her dream that she couldn't wait to get started on. The problem was, Julie didn't appear swayed one way or another. It might as well have been a year. All right, Julie conceded with her hands on her hips. This teenager has to have talent. That's fine. This brought a smile to Eve's face. She was halfway there. She could feel it. But Julie was using that motherly tone again that said, I'm not yet convinced. Now, continued her sister, unperturbed, may I see the pictures you submitted? The question came like a hammer tossed at a pep rally, forcing Eve back into the dining room chair. Of course Julie would ask that. Everyone knows that an application to a beauty contest should contain pictures of the model. The pictures? Eve asked hesitatingly. Oh, you mean the pictures? Backed into a corner, Eve resorted to the stereotypical survival instinct of the blonde species. When in doubt, feign stupidity. Julie wasn't buying it. The pictures, she said softly, yet irritatingly slowly. Eve sprang from the chair and bolted upstairs to her room. Julie followed casually, almost pretentiously, up the stairs. As Eve rifled through every corner of her room, Julie leaned against the doorframe with her arms crossed. Eve felt her sister's glare on her back, like an ocean wave slapping against the rocks. I was sure I put them in my handkerchief drawer, Eve declared, rummaging through her socks and intimates. As she did so, her heart pounded. What was she going to do? Was it possible to run down to the photographer and come back with a new photo of herself before Julie blinked? She highly doubted it. Sweat formed on her brow. Eve was checkmated, and she knew it.
Maybe they're lost, or something, I guess.
Thanks again for joining us, dear listeners. As a reminder, if you're interested in reading more romantic stories by author Dave A. Gardner, be sure to check out the selection of life-changing and inspiring books listed on my website. That website address is authordaveagardner.com. That's authordaveagardner.com. You've listened to the Heart of Juliet Jones fan fiction podcast. Until next time, dear listeners, may joy and peace be yours. And like Juliet, may love always bloom in your heart like a rose.